Hi, I'm John Lovitz, and you're watching Couldn't Help But Notice, starring Brett Riley, on the John Lovitz Comedy Network.
This man may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
Brett Riley.
And for the man you all came to see, put it together for Brett Riley.
Brett Riley.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Couldn't Help But Notice. I'm your host, Brett Riley. My special guest today is Flip Schultz.
Hi, Brett.
Yeah.
I'm
very funny. Just a great all-around human being.
Oh, that's nice to say.
Yeah, I just glad you came on.
No, it's all good, man.
What's new with you?
What a lead-in. Just torn around, you know, been on the road pretty solid for about 2 months now. And plugging away. I booked 2 TV spots this year. So.
I thought, what spots? Because I've seen them, but right now my brain's not working because I just.
How are you? I know you're like so frazzled right now, man.
My brain's not working because like setting up babysitters and stuff. I was running late.
What do you mean setting up babysitters?
No, I mean waiting for the babysitter to show up and like unsure, like is she gonna cancel? Like, because I need to go do the podcast. And
Did you ever bring your kid to the podcast?
Not yet. I've thought about just having her as my guest one of these days.
That would be awesome.
Just have me
Wait, hold on.
talking to a 1-year-old for.
I'll assume the position of the part of a 1-year-old, and you interview me. Okay. Hold on.
So, what? How are we feeling today?
Fine.
Oh no, they can't talk at that point. They she just goes.
I'm a very smart 1-year-old.
Fine.
You're very highly developed.
Fine.
Yeah. And you repeat the one word that you know.
Fine.
That's exactly how it would go. They would just repeat the one word that they know. No, but what spots? Because my brain's not working right.
I booked a spot, a guest spot on a Nick at Night sitcom called Instant Mom.
Okay.
Which is actually a pretty insane story of what happened. And, pardon me, and a guest spot on the ABC series Mistresses.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the first episode of the 2nd season.
Right on.
So that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Work is awesome.
I know, man. Especially like because like I got my degree in theater, you know, and I've done films and everything, and I love stand-up. I'll never stop doing stand-up, but acting is like this other kind of, you know, passion that I haven't been able to do a lot. So the fact that I booked 2 like real things over the past just 2 months feels pretty insane.
That's great. But I like that you put it like that. But I would like with me, my passion is like stand up, and I'm starting to get more and more realizing now that I'm a dad and that I do this for a reason. I do stand up in the club setting or taping stand up for a reason. Like I'll do, and sketch work is fun and all that stuff, but I love this because I know my limits. I can work for about an hour a day.
Yeah.
And acting is great, but you're on set for like 12 hours, 15 hours.
But I get a charge from that.
You do?
Yeah. Like with the Nick at Night thing, it was on the Paramount lot, like the Paramount lot. So
Right.
I drove on, and it's not like I'm driving on to see a tour or I'm driving on for an audition. I'm driving on to work on the Paramount lot. And then we go to, you know, it's in this huge soundstage and like legitimate actors. And my part was pre-taped, but there is a live audience that sees the sitcom. And it was just like this insane charge. You know, it's like I'm now kind of part of this Hollywood thing. And
I like that perspective. Thank you. That's very refreshing that you would share that perspective. Because I feel like, you know, being dead inside is hard.
Maybe it's the jacket.
It is the jacket.
Could be the jacket.
This is the only piece of clothing I bought myself as an adult. I bought this right before Christmas, and when I get compliments on it, I'm like, yeah.
I was going to ask if Marty McFly knew that you took it from him in the future.
Well, that's actually why I bought it.
Really?
It looked, yeah.
I know, because it very much looks like the Marty McFly
future jacket.
I was hoping there was going to be some button that would go, drying now.
Yeah. I was pissed when it wasn't a part of it. So, but, you know, you can't
No, it looks good on you. I like to go for the gay lumberjack look.
I just think it's slimming. I'm just not comfortable wearing just a t-shirt, but I have no style. Like, I'm wearing a My Little Pony shirt right now.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Yay.
God. we're about the same age. I won't ask, but
Okay.
I have like I don't know what you call them, retro tees or
just-
silly tees or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this part of me that's like, yeah, I got like a Voltron shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, Voltron reminds me of my childhood. And then I look in the mirror and I see the gray hair and I see the face. I'm like, am I holding on to my youth to a
Right.
very depressing point?
No.
Or am I?
But you're also not a hipster. You're not trying to be hipster. Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. It's just like I feel like I'm a poser. Like I should just settle. Like just get plain, colored shirts, but no radical designs, and just accept that you're closer to middle age than you are to your teenager.
Yeah. This, I really, truly just like it because it's... Yeah.
Should I walk with like a hitchhiking thing?
It always ends with a gunshot with Angelo. Like, it's always... There's so many things that end with a gunshot. And I
That says a lot about Angelo.
just...
It says a lot about Angelo.
DJ Morbid. Give it up. No, it's that... Give it up for DJ Morbid.
You guys like this track? Well, I'm gonna slit my wrist with it.
No, but this, I just like it because I'm a Chiefs fan, and I tell people this is my Broncos shirt. This is,
Fair enough.
but
Fair enough.
I also like getting random reactions. Like I have a shirt that says "Like a Boss," and it's one of my favorite shirts because it's seriously a picture, 4 different pictures of white guys doing nothing. like they're literally like holding coffee mugs, leaning up against a file cabinet.
Well, that's funny. Like I was being more specific, like retro shirts, I guess.
yeah, the retro shirts, they're
Like,
cool, but
I'm wearing one that says unathletic.
that's
which is-
cool.
Yeah, my wife got it for me, which shows her opinion of me.
My first time I met my wife's brothers, she's got 3 older brothers, and we'd only been dating like a couple months. It was like my first time meeting her family and all this stuff. And her brothers go, "So, did you play any sports?" And before I could answer, she goes, "No, Brett went on music theater scholarship," and like answered for me and like just kind of dismissed it. Like, no, he's not an athlete. And I was like, "Babe, we haven't been dating that long." I was like, I was actually the point guard in high school, and I was the wide receiver, cornerback on the football team. I was like, I was a pretty athletic guy. Like, I had some injuries so far, so I don't really display that anymore. But yeah, but I just was like, really? You just
Threw me on the bus
you're
like
just
that.
Go ahead.
You were a musical theater major?
Yeah, but I only stayed for 1 year.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I did opera, and I was on scholarship.
What did you do? What shows?
We did Cendrillon. It's like a French thing, and then I did Shakespeare.
Which one?
I played Petruchio,
Oh, Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew,
Yeah.
and
I was a theater major myself, and I've done musical theater, so.
but I'm not gonna lie, but that's when I kind of started to, looking back on it in hindsight, the same thing that we were just talking about, like knowing what I wanted to do. I was trying to figure out a way. Like, I don't know. I always wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be an R&B singer or a rock star or a comedian because I wanted to go up. I wanted to hang out in the green room, and then when they go, Brett Riley's on, go out, rock out, and then I'm done with it. But when you're in musicals and you're acting and you're doing this stuff, like there's all this extra stuff. And like I used to drive people nuts in high school. And looking back on it in hindsight, I was like, I was a jerk. Like before my maturity or anything kicked in. Like, I would have the lead role, and the other people in the cast would be pissed because they'd be like, "You don't have these lines memorized, do you? You don't." And I was like, "Guys, I got it. I got it. Night of the show, I got it. Just relax." I got slapped really
You
hard.
got slapped.
Really hard my senior year by the girl that played opposite of me in Bye Bye Birdie. No, that was my junior year.
Were you Conrad Birdie?
No, I was Albert
you
Peterson.
were Edward Peterson.
I was Albert Peterson.
Albert
yeah.
Peterson, sorry.
And yeah, she slapped me really hard.
Rosie?
No, it was his mom.
Oh.
His mom in that musical. So, but we were doing the scene, and I totally blanked on the lines, and it's like dress rehearsal, and I was just like, and like I guess just she'd had enough with how just nonchalant I was. I was like, I don't know. She was like, "This isn't a blooper reel. This isn't funny." Like she was like, and just slapped me so hard. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll take that, because I respected her so much. She was such a talented.
And you knew your
girl.
lines after that. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I did.
Yeah.
The worst though, what's the worst thing that's happened to you on stage? That you just had to keep rolling with it? Because during that show, that brought up another memory for me. We're doing the scene where
I'm glad you asked me a question, then went right into your story. You're an amazing interviewer, Brett.
I'm the Pierce Morgan of interviewing.
I'm kidding.
Did you see what Chelsea
I saw
Handler
Chelsea
did?
Handler on that. Yeah. I'm sorry, no, I can't
Answer
think of
your. Okay, well, I'll tell mine real quick.
Okay, and I'll
It's a
think.
quick
Are you
one.
talking about stand-up or just in general?
No, like in general, like if you were in a play, a music, because the story I just told reminded me of not only did that girl slap me, we also had an incident after we made up, and about the third show, when we're doing the show, we're in front of a packed audience, the whole auditorium's full, and everything's going really well, and we're kicking ass in the show, and there's a scene where she pops my suspenders. When she popped my suspenders, it came loose and hit me in the eye.
Ah.
And like it immediately went, poof. And
Like blood?
No, like just puffed out. But it was like noticeable. My eye was all puffed out, and I couldn't like see out of it. And I just kept going, and we all just kept going. And like, she was like backstage, having like just. I did not do that on purpose. I was like, I know you didn't. But my eyes like, poof, and like just went through. And kept performing like nothing went wrong, and like
That's professionalism.
But that was that. I will admit that I guess I've been so far removed from it. I forgot. You're reminding me what that feeling was like when the whole cast comes up afterwards, and I came out of the dressing room like just ready to go to the after party, and everybody was like the whole cast gave me a standing, and then now I guess
Yeah, well,
reminding me.
there's, and I thought of something too, but just on that, there's a sense of camaraderie when you're doing a show like that. Like stand-up, I always say stand-up is great because you either fail or fly on your own.
Right.
You're up there, and it's your words, your blocking, your costume, whatever. So it's a great egotistical like feeling that this is all me. I'm putting me out there by myself, and it's great. But on the flip side, when you're done, hopefully you get along with the other comics if you've been working with other comics.
Right.
If not, you go to a bar hoping to meet somebody, or you go back to your hotel room and watch TV and just go, all right, I got this adrenaline, I have nothing to do with it. Whereas doing a show, whether it's a play, a musical, television, film, there's a cast, there's a camaraderie, there's, like, we're in this together. I'm working off you, you're working off me, we got this energy back and forth, and when something like that happens and nobody skips a beat and people are concerned and then they go, yeah, you fucking did it. Oh,
Yeah.
Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, good, fuck. You fuckity fuck. And you fucking did it. And, they give you, and then that just is the same kind of feeling you get from me personally from stand-up, but just from almost like a different perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess when I left, like I said, I only stayed at music theater at college for 1 year. And the reason I left and my scholarship and went away, now as I'm older and have had to accept it, was because I got my heart broken for the first time. I turned into the wedding singer, the first girl that shattered me. So I'm on scholarship and I'm expected to sing and be this guy. And I'm like, holiday. Like it was bad, and it was.
Put on a happy face. Gray skies are gonna clear.
Yeah, no, I was that. It was bad. So I think that experience and me diverting my path because of the first time I was hurt.
Yeah.
I think that now looking at it, it kind of gave me. I almost found security in the lack of camaraderie, like with stand-up.
I could definitely see in that mindset, yeah.
Because we also talked about it when we were all up at the Slow Festival, because that was the first time I'd ever done a festival.
Okay, yeah.
Because I always have gotten along with other comedians. I've never had beef or problems with any other comedian. But I will admit, I've never posseed up. Like I've never had like a crew that I ran with. So, yeah. But I'm working through this now.
Yeah. Well, no, you're making leaps and bounds, my friend.
It's been a cool year. I'm telling you, dude. I thought of something so cheesy last night. Do you think I could make a Hallmark card out of this? When you have a kid, when you're a parent, you'll do anything. You'll do anything to protect your child. But you know what I thought? My child protects me. Yeah. Yeah. No, but I've realized though, because of, like, now that I'm a dad, I've been trying really hard to like fix all the loose ends and the frayed edges of my self, because she looks, I mean, when you have a little thing that you created that's looking at you and just it's going to emulate, and she mimics and copies, and it's just going to keep going that way. I would like to figure myself out.
Wow, that's pressure.
So she doesn't. Oh, well, that's what I kind of realized. It's a good, but it's, I don't know. So
I can't, like, my wife and I, Allison, we don't have kids yet or anything. Probably not for a couple more years. But
well, how long have you guys been? You guys celebrated an anniversary.
we just hit 5 years together. I'm about to hit 3 years married in
Awesome.
July. Pardon me. But like I think about kids. You know, I definitely want to have kids, but I also, like, you know, there's every doubt that's going through my head, like, oh, I'm not making enough money to support a kid. I'm living in in a 1-bedroom apartment with my wife. You know, how am I gonna? I've got to change my life. I've got to man up for this. Am I up for it? And I'm sure everybody goes through those.
Yeah,
thoughts
and what's
everything.
crazy is I had all those feelings, but then this weird sense of, no, it's all good. It's all gonna be good. I'm not any more financially like secure than I was, but I'm
So you guys
getting
just
it.
make it work.
But now all of a sudden everything's just fallen into place. Like, that's what it's taught me. I've realized, like, perseverance is great, talent and skill is great, but alignment is everything. If you allow things to align for you, then, and you get out of your own way. That's what I've realized, is now that I'm focused, I have a focus outside of myself. It's made me realize how much throughout my life up to the point of being a dad, I've been in my own head.
Yeah. No, I could relate to
So
that.
now I've managed to get out of my own head, because I have plenty on my plate now with wanting to do right by my daughter and by my wife, that it's made me a better, like, it's like made stuff better.
I look forward to that because I am so in my head about everything and so egocentric that that's my biggest fear, is that everybody says, oh, when you have a kid, everything changes. When you have a kid, you're living for somebody else. When you have a kid, you're second, they're first.
Yeah.
And I have this awful fear, like, what if that doesn't happen with me? What if I have a kid and I go, that's nice, but can I get this weekend in Sheboygan? And she'll take care of herself. I'm like, oh my God, I do not want to be that guy.
Well, that's my concern, which is, like I was telling you, the reason that I titled it "Couldn't Help But Notice." I notice everything, and I'm worried. Like you said, egocentric. When you worry about stuff, you're worried about. I'm pretty self-involved, you know, but it does make me realize that you can. It just helps round you out. It really does. I guess you're right. Somebody could just be a crappy
I know.
guy.
Well, I don't think that'll be me, but
I don't think so either, because
I'm fantastic.
I generally think that I'm a pretty good judge. I just judge people's energy, and if people have like a bad energy about them, I don't butt heads with them. I just kind of
let them do their
let
own
them
thing,
move
yeah.
along on their path.
dark journey. Yeah.
God, there's some
bitter, dark people in this business.
Oh.
Incidentally, just real quick, worst thing that ever happened to me on stage.
Yeah.
I was doing Gypsy, musical theater Gypsy.
Okay.
And I had these fake buck teeth that I made for myself, and during one of the numbers, the teeth slipped and they got caught in my throat. And I was literally like going, and literally people are dancing, because like I'm not sure I play this one. I would play this character, Mr. Goldstone, and they were all singing the song to me.
Uh-huh.
And and they give me all this crap, so my hands are full of crap. They're dancing, circling around me, and I'm going. And I remember one of the guys looking at me, like, the audience is here, and I'm you, and he's just dancing. He looks at me with this look like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like. So finally the show, like, the number ends, and I finish, like, holding this thing, and then I go off stage, and I just drop, and I go. And somebody gives me the Heimlich, and I cough the shit up. But I was like, literally, I almost died on stage, but I kept the number.
The show
going.
must
show
go on.
must go on.
It must.
It must. But yeah, it was like fake teeth stuck right here. It was
That
bad.
sucks.
It was pretty bad. But sorry, back to the other thing. There are some dark, bitter people in this business.
There is.
Yes, and like where I was.
But
go. Oh no,
go.
it's your show.
No. Go. Sorry.
No, it's.
I was just gonna
I
say
couldn't help but notice that. No, I'm kidding.
the dark
Really,
place, the dark place that I've noticed with people is that since being married and stuff is like in Hollywood, it's so weird to me when I go out for drinks here just to be casual with other comics or other young people that are in the entertainment industry. When people will pull me aside after drinks when they get comfortable and they realize that, hey, Brett might be a good guy to talk to. So they'll pull me aside and they'll talk to me like I'm a unicorn. Like, seriously. My Little Pony. They'll talk to me like like they'll be like, these are successful people that have been in movies, all this stuff, and they'll say, so let me get this straight. You've been with the same woman for 9 years. Yeah, and you don't cheat. You don't cheat. No, and you're happy. I go, yeah. Okay, and you had a baby on purpose. And it's just like these conversations. I'm like, yeah, and they're like, huh. Okay, I don't think I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I'm like, but
You crazy bastard.
yeah. No, but I just. But you did.
But yeah, you do. It's this weird energy out here with a lot of, because like most everybody out here is in the business in some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form, and like we were saying, it's a very me-centric business. Especially at the level that we're at, where we want to hit that next big thing. So it's still about perseverance and pushing through and trying to adapt and whatever. And I think a lot of people have trouble sharing that experience or sharing their life with one person or having the responsibility of somebody else when they can't even figure their own selves out.
Well, that's, in my opinion, that's the problem with relationships in America. Like, everybody's like, do you know what the divorce rate is? I was like, you know why it is that way? Do you know why businesses suffer so much right now? It's because the relationships between humans. Like, you have to to have a good relationship, you have to make yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a business partner where you're just gonna keep a side account because they might fuck you over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like people going, oh yeah, but making sure, safety nets. Guess what? You build safety nets, you're gonna have to use them. That's just the way it is. Like, I just see so many people like in relationships wondering why their relationships are falling apart, but there's no, like, you can't have intimacy with another person or if you don't make yourself vulnerable. You just can't do it.
Right.
Like, that's why my wife scares the shit out of me, because it scares me so much that I'm like, how did I get to this point? How have we been together for 9 years and I can't ever win, ever? Like, I can't ever.
Well, that's marriage.
Duh, I know.
That's marriage.
There was
man.
I learned this last night from a Japanese guy. Who told me I don't know it in Japanese, but it's basically, we can't win, we won't win, we don't want to win. It's a toast that like businessmen do, because it's basically like, as long as our wives are happy, as long as our women that we love are happy. We can't win, we won't win, we don't want to win.
Maybe I'm still too newly married to.
Yeah, but you guys are a hip married couple. You guys are cool. Your wife.
We're not Japanese.
That's true.
I don't
But
know.
no, I didn't even know. I was like, that's true. There's nothing else I could think of.
I don't know
to
what
go,
it's-
that is absolutely true. You were, you're correct.
Thank you.
No, but how, and also that's it. That's an interesting factor we could talk about since we're kind of on the thing of relationships. Having your wife be in the same business.
Yeah. She is. She's a comic. She's about 5 years in. Mm-hmm. So she's. What's neat about that too? It's like, it's gotten to the point now. I take her on the road with me when I can bring my feature and whatever. And I literally met her the second time she ever did comedy.
Okay.
So I've been there for her whole growth.
Right.
And I'm kind of getting. This is such a weird way of saying it, but like, not that I ever got tired of comedy, but I got used to comedy.
Yeah.
And now seeing her kind of coming up the way I came up and figuring things out on stage, figuring herself out on stage, writing her jokes, and
Yeah.
I kind of like, I guess the same way you'd see your life through a child, I'm seeing my comedy life through my wife now.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives me this little like recharge
It
again.
rejuvenates you.
Yeah, it rejuvenates me comedically. And it's really cool, too, because very few women, especially not in the business, would understand what I do. You know, would accept that, hey, honey, I
Right.
got to go on tour for 9 weeks.
Right.
And she's like, okay. And she doesn't have qualms about it. She's got her own life. She gets to bed to herself. You know, thank God for Skype. But
And the FaceTime is
more
amazing.
FaceTime, yeah.
It's amazing. Whatever. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
but either way, it's just amazing. Like I put my kid to sleep.
I know.
Like
It's
7
insane.
weeks old when we were in slow. I was like, oh, I after we come back from the break, I would like to talk more about slow and other things. But thank you for being my guest. Are you having
Oh,
fun
absolutely.
so far?
I'm having a great time, yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go to a break. My guest, Flip Schultz. Brett Riley couldn't help but notice. Oh, also,
wanna set up the-
Friday nights, I got to set this up. Friday nights, Jay Davis has his show with Super Naked, an amazing band, all really professional, awesome musicians. And I will also be here every Friday performing, where I get to do comedy and I get to sing. And this clip that we're going to show is me performing this Friday at the first show. So check it out. We'll see you guys after the break.
Who saw Brett Riley tonight? Didn't he fucking crush this room or what? You guys want to hear Brett Riley sing a song for realsy bops? Brett? Hey, there he is!
Hey! Thank you. Give it up for these guys. These guys are incredible. All right. All right. Gravity. Whoa, I'm early, aren't I? Am I early? Can you guys give me a wave? I love this shit. Am I supposed to go? 1, 2. Gravity is working against me. And gravity is trying to break me down. Oh, twice as much ain't twice as good. And can't sustain what one hand could. It's one more. It's gonna send me to my knees. I'm gonna forget the words and make up shit. Is that okay at some point? Am I supposed to go back in? What do you want? Okay. Is this 2? Gravity stayed a hell away from me. Oh, gravity is taking better men than me. Well, how can that be? Leave me with the light on. I just jumped all the way there. Leave me with the light on. I said, keep me with the light. understood. So pack 'em in, wear a grin, take it on the chin. This is fun as shit. We only have karaoke in Kansas. Oh, twice as much ain't twice as good, and can't sustain what one half could. This one and more is gonna send me to my knees. Give it up for Super Naked. Keep supporting Jay Davis, Super Naked. Lee Miles, thank you. Gentlemen, you guys are all incredible, and this made my night. Thank you. Come on, keep it where the light is. Serious, because I can't see in the dark. Keep it where the light is. I got nothing else. I really appreciate this. This has been amazing. I'm gonna get drunk now. Thank you. That was super cool. That's how you end it.
Brett Riley!
Welcome back to
Welcome
Couldn't
back.
Help But Notice. I'm your host, Brett
That
Riley.
was great, man. You were great singing that.
Dude, I had so much fun. It was I'm not gonna lie, I was all warm and fuzzy up there. I was super nervous though. I just am. When it's professional musicians, I just didn't want to screw it up, and I'd practiced in the shower, and I knew I was gonna
Did you have the band in the shower with
forget
you?
my place. No, that would have been something. That would have been something.
Something. That's very, very good. No, a couple of, was it last year? I think it was last year, Allison and I, because we love doing karaoke. I think
Yeah.
we all did it in
At
slow.
the end of
Yeah.
yeah. That was
And
so much fun.
We were on a cruise with my parents, my brother, and his girlfriend, and they had like the passengers could go and sing with a band and like live band karaoke.
Yeah.
And so Alice and I signed up for it, and it was in this like 1,200 seat like theater thing on the cruise ship. And Allie goes up and she does The Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
And the crowd, love it. And the crowd's great anyway. And then I go up there and I do Jenny 8675309, which is like my karaoke staple. So I knew how to sing it well, and I had like bits within it. So by the end of me doing, and the band just sounded great. And by the end of it, I had like this adrenaline, and I just said, like I did my last thing, and the crowd stood up. I got like a standing ovation doing live band karaoke.
That's awesome.
I know, and
Such a
that
good
meant
feeling.
even more to me than a stand-up standing ovation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I'm not really in my comfort zone, but
Yeah.
I pulled it off somehow.
That's why I'm so excited about these Friday night shows, and it's going to be a staple now. So
And it's going to be every Friday night here at the John
Every Friday?
Lovitz Comedy Club, 10 p.m.
yeah,
Here at Universal City Walk, John
Yeah.
Lovitz Comedy Club.
yes, it will.
Wow.
It's
I
gonna
should
be
come
fun
back every Friday here at the John Lovitz Comedy Club.
to see to see Super Naked with Jay Davis.
Yes.
Yeah. And Brett Riley. 'cause
And
I'll
Brett
be here.
Riley.
So- but I'm not in charge.
You're not
of
gonna be
it.
naked.
I'm not in charge of anything. I just show up.
That's you do.
But I don't like being. I'm driven by comfort and happiness. That's it. I don't. And then trying really hard to like respect that other people live by all these different rules and stuff. I don't really like. When
You have no rules?
I do. Yeah, I do. Like, just be true. Like, don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't do underhanded shit.
Do you ever feel yourself being pulled into like a darky, scumbaggy place sometimes?
I did for years. I was in a really dark place for the last 5 years. Before I married my wife, before I proposed to my wife, I don't know how we managed to stay together, because I almost died in a car wreck, and I kept my career going out here, but I would like go out, perform, leave, because I really honestly did not like people at all. I was annoyed. I saw nothing when I was like looking at other people. That's also why I have such a fascination, not a fascination, but a real interest in post-traumatic stress disorder. Because people and just mental issues of the stuff is, I find such an interest in it, is like some of the stuff that's the worst stuff. Like, if somebody cut your legs off, that would suck. But I mean, what if you had major pain all the time, but no one could see your pain? You know what I mean? And that's what I think, like, people that are dealing with stuff mentally, it is. Like, when I was after the car wreck, not liking everybody, my wife, that's why I have such a respect for my wife. It had to be like the life of Pi. Like, she was the boy on the friggin' boat with a Bengal tiger. You know what I mean? Like, I was unhappy, like, all the time. It's hard to be around somebody that's unhappy, and
All
they
the
can't
time, yeah.
snap out of it. Like, I could still go do my comedy and all this stuff, but then if we're in the car and somebody cuts me off, I'm like, you skin bag of shit! And my wife's like, did you just call someone a skin bag of shit? Can I have a definition? And I'm like, his soul, everything that makes him him is
So you were just like filled with like
just
bile.
vile.
Yeah.
Just ugh. Like, and it, and then it just kind of went, it evaporated, is what I'm fortunate. But some people it never goes away.
Yeah.
Some people, it really did feel like wringing out a wash rag. And I would say 80% of it went away on my wedding day, when my wife my beautiful wife is looking at me saying, I want to spend the rest of my days with you. Like, and I'm serious, and I'm so stoked about it. I was just kind of like, okay, all right. And then the baby came, and I mean, I'm still a worrier. That's why, I'm still a worrier. I worry about the dumbest shit, but
Oh, me too.
But when the baby came, the rest of it, I kind of came back to normal. I'm whole.
Balanced.
Yeah, I finally feel like a whole person.
Oh, that's great, man.
But yeah, that's the dark. There's some people. The brain is so powerful. People can go to a dark place.
I know, dude. Like I get to talk about this on here because I am a medical marijuana patient, and so like with me, pot has like two effects, and it all depends on my mindset.
Right.
If I'm in a really good, if I'm in a good place, it makes me feel even better. If I'm in like a worry place, my brain goes to the other night, my wife and I were at home and we were done for the night, so we had a little.
Yeah.
And it was strong. I didn't realize how strong it was going to be. And I heard helicopters outside. And immediately my brain goes, I'm like, are they gonna bust down the door because I illegally downloaded a movie that one time? I download like one time, somebody sent me to a link. I'm like, fuck it, and my brain starts going, oh my god, they're gonna find me. They're gonna find me, and that's what the weed did to me. And it's just so weird that these little worried things are hiding in my brain somewhere.
The worst though is when you see the effects of like depression and alcohol, because you see people. I've seen people just go Looney Tunes because they were in a bad place and then they drank too much and then you're just like
you're just trapped.
And you're just like you're like I don't even know this person. And how did it go this dark? Things aren't this bad.
Yeah.
But it accelerates it.
They can't see the way out. It's
yeah.
Well, you're talking about heartbreak before, like, and it's funny too because I was on the road recently and I found on my laptop all of these old like poems and journals that I kept from this really bad breakup I had when I was in my mid-20s.
Okay.
And it's funny because I'm reading it and I'm so far removed from who I was that it was very hard for me to connect back again with that. But I remember that I went through it. Mm-hmm. And I remember just like this feeling of complete hopelessness, complete just darkness surrounding every part of my peripheral. Like I could not see any light.
Yeah.
And thank God I didn't get into drinking or heavy drugs over that breakup. But but the thing that rereading it, it kind of was like this really weird epiphany. I'm like, you know what? I remember feeling that hopelessness. I remember feeling that darkness. But here I am, over 10 years later, don't even talk to her anymore. Couldn't care less about her.
Right.
I have a wife that I love who loves me. I'm very happy with that. And I'm like, I got over that. That was something that seemed so hopeless, and yet I got over it. So that just kind of stopped my head like there is nothing that is permanent. Anything that might be bad right now will not last, as long as you just know that there is an end in sight.
Yeah, but that's what kills me is like I care. Like I totally give a fuck. Like I can't pretend not to. Unless, except for this. Have you ever gotten with an ex? Have you ever like gotten back, rekindled a relationship?
Briefly. It's one of those like we broke up and then a couple of months after that they were like, I made a mistake, and I'm like, yay, and it lasted a week.
Okay.
So I wouldn't really call that.
I've never like
really
never. No. If a girl like one time a girl in college broke up with me at a restaurant, a really nice restaurant, and she so she gets done and I go like this. I go, okay. And she goes, that's it? And I go, yeah, you broke up with me. I go, okay, best of luck. And she goes, really? That's it? And I go, okay, coach, tell me how I'm supposed to play this. How am I supposed to respond?
Man.
You're going to coach me through how I'm supposed to respond to you breaking up.
How long were you together for?
Like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, really? You're going to coach me through this? Okay, all right. Okay. And she goes, she made a scene. She was like, fuck you, you cold she was like, you're a fucking cold sack of shit. And I was like, I'm not cold. I'm smart. You're the dumb bitch that's telling me you think there's somebody out there better than me. And I'm telling you, enjoy your new search. Because guess what? You're going to send me an email or a message in the next couple of years going, I'm so glad to see you're doing well. And I'm going to go, yeah, I am. How's the dude with barbed wire tattoos on his arm and your 2 friggin' waterhead kids? How's that? Ooh, I call it. See, that's the darkness. It's still there. It's still there, but I don't let it out because I'm happy.
Well, good.
But that's what I mean.
But that's great because and there was something else that you. What we talked about off the air, like you have apparently good control over your emotions. Because when those girls broke up with me, I was like,
but that came from pain. Just like it came from pain because like we talked about earlier, when the first girl that hurt me, the first time somebody really hurt me, like I was in love and it really was heartbroken, I gave up my scholarship and I didn't sing. And singing's my favorite thing. And I did not sing for 3.5 years. Dead serious. People would be like, come on, Riley. Dude, just come on. We'd go because that was what my buddies loved. My buddies would love to take me to karaoke bars, and I go sing Marvin Gaye or all this, and then the girls come over and they go, "Oh my God, you can really sing." I'm like, "Thanks, this is my buddy." And these are, why don't you girls move over to our table? And that was always the thing. So my buddies were pissed when I just was like, no, I don't do that anymore.
So they lost their sing man.
They were like, but that's
Sing
how.
man.
But that's, the sing man.
Wingman. Sing man.
I didn't get the
When I have to
reference.
explain it, they don't.
Yeah.
They're not very funny.
They don't hit as hard when you have I'm a horrible audience too. I really am.
Well, no. So if a comic pitches you a joke or something, you can't objectively go.
I can objectively go, I like that, but I'm never. But like okay, for instance, you know Raj Sharma, right? Do you know
no,
Raj?
I don't think
Left
so.
Factory comic.
I don't really go to Factory.
Okay, he's Indian comic, has the best laugh ever. He laughs to the point of tears, like consistently all the time. I hate, my wife's extremely funny. My brother is really funny. My family members are funny. And they'll say stuff that's really funny, and I'll go. And I realize I'm the guy that I hate in the club that does the whole. I'm like, that's my best shit, man. But I'm that guy. I'm just not.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think it comes from just doing it for so long. You get it takes so much to genuinely make me laugh.
Yeah, and then when I do though, it's I'll snort. I'll make sounds that I didn't know existed, and I'll just be like, "Oh my God, that really got me. I really whew."
Oh, so now I know if I make you guttural laugh, it's a good bit.
Oh yeah, because because I don't.
Does tickling count?
Don't normally. Tickling does not
All
count.
right. Well, there goes my bit.
Tickling works great with babies.
You ever heard?
and shit.
Jimmy Schubert?
Yeah, but I want to hear. What did he say?
No, it's just one of his lines. He goes when he's impersonating an old bitter comic, or he's talking to a younger comic. He goes, "You kids today with your punchlines. Back in my day, we had to go around and tickle the audience to get the laugh, and that was work. God damn it!
I had to go around and
Tickling everybody."
God, that was an experience. San Luis Obispo was fun.
Yes,
It was fun.
It was a really fun festival.
It was an eye-opening. Honestly, obviously from our conversations that we've had today is the real thinky stuff, the really trying to figure out the meaning of life stuff. I've just kind of been on it for the last couple of years because I was in such a dark place, and I was working my way out of it, and I was still so unworried and going into that festival, being around other comics and hanging out. Look, remember when you guys were giving me shit when we were taping in your guys' room, and you guys were giving me shit about how I cannot take ball busting?
Oh yeah.
It's not an act. I don't get it. When people are just like, "Hey man, I'm just fucking with you." Yeah, when are you gonna be done? When are you gonna stop doing that? Because I don't have anything back. And that's what I mean about being a bad audience. It's people are like, "Come on, how are you gonna be a comedian that doesn't get sarcasm, or you're so gullible?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm just sensitive. I'm sorry." Just messes with people.
Well, that's because you don't have a soul.
Dead inside.
You're dead inside, Brett. Apparently, Albert Peterson died and took your soul with you.
Took
That
it with
first
me.
scholarship. Bye, Birdie soul.
Yeah.
Bye-bye,
Birdie's soul. I probably do have the soul of a bird. Other people have human-sized souls. I
Yeah.
probably have the soul of a hummingbird. It's just this little, and it disappears. It just gets lost in this big fucking head.
Pollinate somewhere in the back of it.
I find it every once in a while. I'm like, oh, and then that goes away.
I'm sure the kid brings something out in you.
Oh, she's so.
I can't
sweet.
I have a niece that's I love my niece to death.
Yeah.
But that's the closest I have to having a kid of my own. I can't wait.
I've always wanted to be a dad.
as
It's
nervous as I
always.
am, I'm still
And I'm an uncle. I'm an uncle.
You got the best of both
I
worlds.
just became an uncle the other day. My
Oh,
sister
congratulations.
had a little girl, so I have a niece named McKinley Rose. She's yeah.
I have a niece named Lily.
Lily
Two
Harper.
flowers.
Yeah, nice. She's so cute. My sister's incredible, by the way. She's the best athlete in our family. She gained. She's a freak. She's a physical freak because she gained 22 pounds or something, and the baby was 8 pounds.
Jeez.
And they were not. They were like, "There's no way this baby's that big." They kept reweighing the baby, my sister's just. She does CrossFit, so she's in a cult.
No.
CrossFit just, I'm like, no, I don't want to be like, what? So you're good at exercise. That's stuff I don't get it. Like,
You know what, man? That's the one. Like, I've motivated myself to do so many things in my life.
yeah.
Getting in shape is that one thing that I'm not kidding when I say every day, a little voice inside me goes, you know, instead of sitting here watching TV, you could be doing push-ups, you could be doing sit-ups, you could go out for a bike ride. And my body goes, eh.
Yeah. Every time.
And I can't get myself to do it. And that's why I'm kind of hoping, like, either A, I'll get cast in something where they go, you got to get into shape, and I'll have that kind of motivation to push me.
Yeah.
Or B, I'll have a kid. I'll go, okay, you know what? I really need, I want to be around to help my kid. But other than that, self-motivation for that, for getting myself in shape is null and void. I can't, I have no willpower for that.
Well, the thing that my problem is I don't just work out to work out. Like, the reason I was in shape when I was back in an athlete, when I was in high school and stuff, was because I would, and when I was in shape when I was younger, was because I would play basketball for 3 hours, or I'd go play football for hours. You know what I mean? And run, and there was an activity in it. I can't just go to the gym and lift shit. Especially now, because of the car wreck and stuff. My knees and my joints and my hip and my
well, at least you got a
elbows.
legitimate excuse. I'm just
right, but
fucking
I mean,
lazy.
but it's just, but it sucks because I can't. I want to play ball. I want to play ball again, but this my shooting elbow is so jacked that after I played my brother in Papa Shot in the Dave & Buster's not too long ago, and not gonna lie, my elbow was like screaming at me, going, "Dude, stop! What are you doing?" And all I'm doing is this. I'm just shooting, and all of a sudden my elbow is just like screaming at me.
So go
That's where I'm
right-handed.
at. Yeah, not as good. I'm the lefty.
Well, then train your right.
Both my elbows are fucked.
Oh well. There. Do you have Wii, Xbox Wii?
Yeah.
Like, I have some like sport games on those, and there's actually I tried it for the first time like last week, like an actual workout thing where you match yourself. But those things actually give you a good workout. Like
I did it for rehab.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's what I used.
You had
the Wii.
rehab?
I had rehab. Hello. Thank you.
You know
Angela.
what, Angela?
You know what? You got an attitude in there.
You prick.
You got a little bit of an attitude in there.
You son of a bitch.
Douche.
Oh, I have something funny that I could tell you.
Please.
A new revelation.
That would be good on this podcast. Something
It's
funny.
something funny. Yay. I was hanging out.
I just realized it's an arrow over my head.
Over your head. Has been there the whole time.
Why is it
Couldn't
over
help
my
but
head?
notice. Well, in the background, if you move to the side a little bit like that, you can see. Couldn't help but notice. I noticed everything. That's, by the way, this is the Kansas State Fair behind this.
Oh, okay.
Because my hometown is where the Kansas State Fair is.
Okay.
The W's out on Whitewater. Both W's are out, so it's Whitewater. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
Water? Oh.
It's hot water.
But it's just coincidentally that it's pointing right at me.
Yeah, you're my guest.
Ah.
Couldn't help but notice.
Flip Schultz?
Flip Schultz.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I know. It's good to notice the
It's
people
good
you're
to
having a
definitely good to
conversation
notice
with.
things. Yeah.
You know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Like I was telling you, I've gradually been changing myself. Like, the festival was the start of it. And this year, since my daughter's been alive, has been me kind of breaking the trend of the anti-camaraderie. Like, be nice to everybody, but I've kind of been, I don't need to be in a posse. I don't need to belong to your group. It's always been weird to people. They're like, dude, come, you're a part of our group. I was like, you guys are awesome. But I've always like made sure that I kept a stance where I was like not a part of any group. Like, I don't know. It's weird, but I'm breaking myself out of it. But I was hanging out with comics the other night, and it's been fun. Like, I like going and hanging out, and they go like this. They go, you know why you're fun to hang out with? And I go, please tell me why. And Newberg brought it up. He goes, the 29-second thing. And I go, what? He goes, you do this thing. And he goes, am I right? And he goes to Raj. He goes, am I right? And Raj is like, go on. He goes, Brett, he goes, every time you mess with him or you disagree with him on something, he's like, you'll like make something with your eye or your lip, or you'll kind of like tense up like you want to fight somebody, and then you just slowly soften over the next 29 seconds. And by the time it hits 30 seconds, you've already worked your way through it to where you're like, everything. Somebody fucks with you, you go, okay, all right, and moving on. Like, and I was like, I don't think I do that. And then, sure enough, I noticed I do that.
You do that.
All the time, and I don't know, but
That whatever it is, it's working.
whatever
right?
it is, it's how I get through stuff. But I also found out that's why my whole life people have enjoyed like poking at me. It's because I'm giving them the reaction that they want immediately. Like I'm just like I'm just dispensing it out. No fails. Never. Like you're never gonna press that button and you don't get the exact drink that you wanted. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get like it never runs dry. Now that I've noticed it, I've been thinking about it since yesterday.
Oh, they just brought it up yesterday?
Yeah, since it got pointed out to me, now I just noticed that, yeah, it's every time, without fail. Somebody will say something just fucked up or weird or bust my balls. They get the reaction they want immediately. And that's why my wife messes with me. Because, like the other day, I told my wife, I was like, can we stop? Like, with every interaction that we have, can we stop, like, with this cycle of behavior? Because you're killing me. She's like, what are you talking about? I go, anything that I talk to you about, if you're kind of wanting to tune out, you will meet me with a rebuttal and then claim ignorance. Within 4 seconds, she goes like this. She goes, first of all, I don't do that. And how am I supposed to know what you're thinking? And I like wanted to throw my head through a wall. I was just like, oh, there's no way. There's no way that you don't know what you just did. She was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, and again, the tensed up. Okay. All right. 29 seconds.
That you're a better man than like.
No, but I couldn't believe but I was like, do you realize? I was like, no, there's no one on the planet. I told her, I was like, there's no one on the planet that gets away with it. Like, you really have found a magical place that I don't think most people know exists, which is like, you are such the object of my affection that you just like you're just like you're outside of the rule books. It's like we were on a high-speed chase and you're a bandit and you crossed into a country where I have no jurisdiction. It's just bullshit. But I can't, like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And when you tell this to another guy, like I did the other night, they're like, dude, that's fucked up. You can't do that. That's not healthy, man. You can't tell another person that. Because you're not, like, what? It sucked, but that's love. That's what I mean about vulnerability.
Yeah.
If you're actually going to be in love with somebody,
you've got to accept
it doesn't
every
matter.
part
It's like there's not a breaking point. You can't have like, okay, if you do this, and that's the thing that's why so many people break up, so many businesses break up, is people are like, they're going into it going, if you do this, 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 or this, we're done. What sucks is I'm so in love with my wife that I'll look at her and I'm like, oh my God, you have broken every rule and I can't. I still love you. I totally don't like you right now. I don't like you at all. But, all right.
Like I'm learning that now with my wife. Like, because we square off a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There are certain things that, and don't get me wrong, I know I'm a pain in the ass too, but there's certain things she does where I'm just like, would you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Would you just shut up for 1 fucking second. Let me talk.
Yeah.
And then now I've got to the point to where if she does something and immediately I feel like, no, you got to tell her this part of my brain goes, let's just look in the future for a second and see where this will lead.
Is it more valuable to be right? That's what happens. When you're married, when you're a married man, you get to a point where your brain has to naturally get trained to, is it more important to be right or to be happy?
Yes. Is this worth the fight that you know you will have over the stupid little thing?
Yeah.
Or do you just go, you're right, and suck up your pride and move on, and you'll be over it in a minute?
But that's, I think, why it's a good thing for people. That's why I'm a proponent for marriage. I'm a proponent for people falling in love because it makes you better. Because if you
it does.
Because if you just go through life being just a self-serving asshole, like, well, I don't deal with anything that annoys me. Like,
well, then you will be living by yourself for a long, long time. Yeah, it's compromise. It really is. As cliche as that is, it's compromise.
Well, I'm happy that you're happy, right? You're happy. You're talented. You got anything coming up that you'd like to plug?
Again, I got be on an episode of Instant Mom on Nick at Night probably sometime in late April, early May, and then the first episode of season 2 of Mistresses. And my website is flipisfunny.com and at Flip Schultz on Twitter.
Okay.
And I got a podcast too that hopefully you'll be on.
What's your podcast?
Podcast is called What's for Dinner.
What's
at
for Dinner?
whatsfordinnerpodcast.com.
And my name is Brett Riley.
It's Brett Riley.
That's how you spell my name, BRETTRILEY. Look me up. Just Google it.
Google.
And thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being on the show.
having me on, man.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.